Welcome. Today, we're diving into the world of DMF preparation and the regulatory expectations that come with it. I'm Dr. S.K. Singh, and together we'll explore the key processes and standards that ensure quality and compliance in this critical area. Let's get started. Let's start by understanding what a Drug Master File, or DMF, really is. It's a confidential document submitted to regulatory agencies, detailing everything from manufacturing processes to quality controls and storage conditions. The main goal: to protect proprietary information, support regulatory approvals, help customers with their registrations, and show compliance with good manufacturing practices. DMFs are commonly used for active ingredients, excipients, packaging, and sometimes finished drug products. For example, an API manufacturer files a DMF with the FDA, allowing multiple drug makers to reference the same confidential data in their applications. Let's break down the main types of Drug Master Files accepted by the US FDA. Type 2 is the most common. It covers drug substances, intermediates, and finished products, mainly active pharmaceutical ingredients. Type 3 focuses on packaging materials, like containers and closures. Type 4 supports excipient manufacturers, covering things like colorants and flavors. Type 5 is a catch-all for reference info that doesn't fit the others. It's important to know that Type 1 DMFs are no longer accepted. For example, an excipient maker would submit a Type 4 DMF for microcrystalline cellulose. Let's take a look at the global regulatory framework and what's expected from us. In the US, the FDA prefers submissions in the Electronic Common Technical Document format, with annual updates and a letter of authorization for applicants. Over in the European Union, they use the Active Substance Master File procedure, which differs from the US system. The EDQM offers a certificate of suitability that can sometimes replace the ASMF for certain substances. The WHO requires detailed information to support pre-qualification, and the ICH guidance helps harmonize all this through the Common Technical Document. Let's take a closer look at the DMF structure, which follows the Common Technical Document format. It's divided into modules. Module 1 covers regional administrative information, the basics needed for regulatory review. Module 2 is the quality overall summary, giving a high-level snapshot of the product's quality. Module 3 dives deep into quality information, everything from the manufacturing process to specifications, controls, and stability data. For example, Section 3.2 details the API's manufacturing process, impurity profile, and control strategy. This structure keeps things organized and clear. When it comes to regulatory expectations, clarity and control are key. The manufacturing process must be clearly described, validated, and tightly managed. This means laying out every step, from raw materials through reaction, filtration, drying, milling, and finally packaging. Alongside this, the manufacturing section includes important details like the sites involved, process flow diagrams, critical process parameters, in-process controls, and any procedures for reprocessing or rework. Together, these elements ensure the process is transparent and reliable. Here, we see an example of how an API specification aligns with regulatory expectations. Analytical methods need to be validated following ICH guidelines, specifically Q2 and Q14, whenever they apply. The table highlights key tests and their acceptance criteria. For example, assay results must fall between 98 and 102%, and related substances should not exceed 0.2% each. Quality control relies on thorough documentation, including specifications, certificates of analysis, validated methods, reference standards, and a clear impurity profile. This ensures consistency and compliance throughout. Stability studies are a vital part of ensuring a product remains safe and effective over time. We follow strict guidelines, like the ICH Q1AR2, tailored to different climate zones. Key parameters include assay, degradation products, moisture, appearance, and microbiological quality when needed. For example, an active pharmaceutical ingredient stored at 25 degrees Celsius with controlled humidity showed an assay of 99.3% after 2 years, with impurities well within limits. This data supports a justified shelf life for the product. When it comes to GMP compliance, documentation is key. We're talking about a range of supporting documents, from the site master file to GMP certificates, validation reports, and cleaning validations. Process validation and change control are just as critical, along with a robust CAPA system. For example, an API manufacturer must show validated cleaning procedures for equipment used with multiple products. During inspections, authorities focus on making sure the drug master file matches what's actually happening on the manufacturing floor. Consistency is everything. Let's look at some common regulatory deficiencies we often see. These usually fall into 3 buckets: documentation, quality systems, and stability. Documentation issues might include incomplete manufacturing details, missing validation reports, or outdated specs. Quality systems often show weak change control, poor deviation investigations, or data integrity problems. Stability concerns tend to revolve around insufficient data. For example, if the manufacturing process in the drug master file doesn't match what's actually used on site, that can trigger questions, slow reviews, or even inspection problems. Let's talk about keeping a drug master file effective over time. It's not a one-and-done deal. We need regular activities like annual updates, tracking any changes, and managing revisions carefully. We also stay on top of GMP inspections, update stability data, and note any manufacturing site changes. The letter of authorization is key. It lets customers reference the DMF in their regulatory submissions without revealing confidential details. For example, if a manufacturing site expands, the DMF must be updated, customers notified, and regulators given the revised documents. When preparing a drug master file, we need to focus on 3 key areas. First, technical excellence. That means thorough process descriptions, solid analytical validation, complete stability data, and a control strategy based on risk. Next, quality systems, strong data integrity, effective change management, and a culture of continuous improvement. Finally, digital transformation. Using ECTD submissions, electronic document management, AI-assisted reviews, and digital quality systems. Together, these best practices speed up regulatory review, cut down deficiency letters, boost customer confidence, and open doors to global markets. A well-prepared drug master file is more than just paperwork. It shows a manufacturer's dedication to quality, transparency, and compliance. When documentation is accurate, complete, and kept up to date, it smooths the path for regulatory review and builds trust with health authorities. This leads to faster approvals, reliable supply chains, and consistent delivery of safe, high-quality medicines worldwide. Ultimately, a strong DMF is a foundation for success in global pharmaceutical markets. Thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to explore this topic further or have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help. Thanks again for your time and attention. It's been a pleasure sharing this with you. This video was created with SlideSpeak. Visit SlideSpeak to turn your presentations into engaging AI-narrated videos.